I'm going to say something here that is probably going to be very unpopular among a lot of folks and believed untrue, but I'm going to say it anyway. And it is this: I believe that it's a myth to say that actual socialism is the greatest threat to America and our American way of life. I do believe, of course, that we're headed down a dangerous road. However, one perhaps more even dangerous than traditional socialism. We're on a path that's got to be turned from, and fast. Please allow me to elaborate. America will not be a socialist country. Never. It never will be, I believe. But what America will be if we don't reverse the current course will be worse than socialism. Our problem is not socialism. Our problem is that those with power actually hate us. The power in government, but it's also all these transnational megacorporations with all their power. How could the government even take over these businesses to implement socialism when these corporations are more powerful than their government? And they've largely already bought the government off. So it isn't going to happen, a true socialist takeover. But what is going to happen is a continuation and an escalation of what we've already been seeing for the last few years, certainly in the last year predominantly, which is big business using government to destroy small businesses to transfer wealth from the pockets and the bank accounts of middle-class families, that's me, that's you, most of us, and into the pockets and bank accounts of those in Washington, those in the bureaucracy, those in the administrative state, those running these corporations, and their success is you being distracted, not only by mass consumerism and new products and brands, new superhero movies and sporting events and video games, but also even within your political involvement, being distracted by the idea that, would say, oh no, socialism is coming. We got to memorize all the anti-socialist catchphrases and post them on Instagram and Facebook and all that and proclaim our disdain. No, we don't. No, we don't. There is no operative difference that I can see between standing in a bread line while state propaganda is posted all around us, coded on every wall of every building that you enter, everywhere, and standing in line at one of the 3 grocery store chains left in the country, telling ourselves that this is market competition and that we've made a choice as rational consumers. I mean, and then we go on and we proceed to buy chemically laden and genetically modified foods with money from our jobs that haven't gone to paying off tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt or predatory credit card debt or any other type of debt slave system that we're all involved in. And then we go home and we watch television and we invest parts of ourselves into these Hollywood shows and movies and worshiping celebrities and athletes. And we're convinced that we're free because at least it's not exactly socialism. In reality, it's probably worse than socialism because at least with socialism, you're not free. But with this, they're brainwashing you and me, and they're numbing us into thinking that we're free because we at least have the choice to participate in our own self-destruction. You see, they've structured the society as such that the easiest thing for us to do is become isolated, apathetic debt slaves whose greatest purpose is to go to work and whose greatest mental exercise of the mind is to think about what kind of car will define our self-worth, or what brand of watch will increase our status, or which dining room set makes us feel good when we purchase it, or any other consumerism act, that would define us as a person. And we'll be miserable in that life, but we'll be confused as to why, since we're ostensibly free, I don't want to live in that world. I do not want to live in that world. Do you? Probably not. Something to think about on a Wednesday. I'm the Real World Prepper. Thanks.